And you've kind of touched on it a little bit there in your last answer too, in terms of helping those early stage entrepreneurs understand, what the whole starting a business is all about. So I'm curious. So I want to get more into that. So how do you approach doing that in your day-to-day job now?
I think it goes back to empathy, right? Like being a former founder, having gone through the trenches of, before I got my first yes, an investor check, I had to pitch 153 no's. So
Hmm.
when you go through that journey and you understand what that journey looks like, there's a simple sense of empathy that I think I just have. And so I try to do two things with founders. I try to be empathetic and I try to be honest because I think
Mm-hmm.
both in VC are missing. People often don't
Mm.
tell you the truth because they don't want to hurt your feelings and then not have a chance to invest in you later if you blow up.
Right.
And empathy comes from, having gone through it. And so that is where I find myself a lot of times with founders and even with VCs like, hey, we need to make sure that we are treating this founder because they're already going through hell. Like
Mm-hmm.
we
Yeah.
don't want them to go through that with us. And so we really, really try to anchor in on making sure we're being honest and empathetic with founders.
So, Clarence, you mentioned empathy, and I'd love for you to talk a little bit about, even in your own experience when you were starting your company. What do you think really needs to happen right now to give these entrepreneurs a shot at success? One example that I think of is like we hear from all of these retailers, they're like setting aside space, or we're going to have the startup area or the small business, we're going to invest in bringing X number of small businesses into our massive retail store, as the start to them. Is that helpful? Is it causing more problems? Like maybe just kind of give us a state of the state of what you think like the next best path is for a lot of these startup entrepreneurs right now.
Yes.